So I had a guy stop by yesterday. It's been pretty slow for the lawnmower repair hobby business that we've been doing. It's been pretty slow for the last probably month. Haven't had anything come in. Well, that's not true. I did have that snowblower that came in. So, well, I guess that was about a month ago. Regardless, guy stopped by yesterday, said he was gonna, has a log splitter that when he pulls the rope, it yanks it out of his hand. So that one's actually going to be a fairly easy one to fix, I think. Usually that's needs a valve adjustment. The valves are not opening at the correct time, so it builds up compression inside the cylinder and it just yanks that rope right out of your hand. So that's a simple valve adjustment. As a matter of fact, I got a video coming out pretty soon on a generator that was doing the same thing. I mean, it was terrible. It was like it was going to break your hand. Now, it could be a compression relief problem, and usually the only ones that happen is on the Briggs & Stratton Intech engine. So it's not a common problem for the other ones, but it could be a compression relief, new camshaft. So I would have to take the engine out and take the sump off and replace the camshaft. Still not a big deal. I've done it. As a matter of fact, up here on the porch, I have a camshaft that I've already replaced. I hold on to it so I can show people what it is. And there's a missing compression relief that's supposed to go right there. So, not a hard job to do. And then the third thing it could be is a flywheel key has broke off, so the flywheel has turned a bit. That's very unlikely because that usually happens on push mowers. When you hit a stump, the flywheel key will break. Everything else that I can think of has a little bit of give. On a riding mower, well, I've seen a video that had a flywheel key broken on a riding mower, but it's not very typical because if you hit a stump with a riding mower, you got the belts and the spindles and everything that can break and give a little bit before the flywheel key breaks. But it can happen. But on a log splitter with hydraulics, there's nothing to break. I mean, you're not going to hit anything. With hydraulics, if you got too much, the pressure relief on the hydraulics just opens up and the engine just goes back to normal speed. You're not killing the engine. So we'll take a look at that. Be kind of exciting. He said I'll bring it next week. We'll see. Hey, I want to interrupt this video just for a second. If you'll click the get to the end of this video and click the up next box at the end of this video, it'll take you to my other channel, and we're going to learn how to work on small engines. That's kind of strange to me. Just not that long ago, someone called, had a few issues with his log splitter, said I'll bring it down by Friday. Well, Friday came and went, and I never heard from him. So you kind of wonder, why didn't they bring it? Why did they say they were going to bring it and didn't bring it? To me, I don't understand the dishonesty. Well, I just carried the trash down. I don't know where these bottles came from. I don't understand the dishonesty. Oh, the wind blew them. Carolyn saves these. When the guy came out to quote this tree that was going to cut down, and he said $700 to cut that tree down, I thought that's ridiculous. I just could not see spending $700, and I said, well, I'll talk to my wife, but I don't think that's a price that I can handle. I made it quite clear, not quite clear, but I made it clear enough that it was pretty probable he wasn't going to get the business at that price. And he spent the next half hour trying to explain to me why the price was reasonable. Well, it wasn't reasonable because I ended up buying a little rope saw, probably for 20 bucks or something, that Keith had reminded me to buy. One of my longtime subscribers, he told me to buy it, and we took that tree down by ourselves, so that was free, well, other than $20. So I don't understand the dishonesty, but I get it a lot, quite a bit. I mean, there was one guy, for a month, he said he was going to bring, maybe 2 months, he was going to bring his lawnmower over at the end of the season to have it serviced. Well, he said, remind me on such and such date, and I'll bring it over. So I reminded him. He said, yeah, I'm going to bring it over this weekend. Okay, great. So Sunday night at 8 o'clock, I said, well, I know there's a few hours left in this weekend, but I got to go to bed, so I'm sorry I missed you this weekend. Maybe next year or something like that. He says, yeah, maybe next year. I don't think he realized what I was saying. He promised he was going to bring it down on the weekend, and he didn't. There was 4 hours left on the weekend. I mean, is he really going to wait till midnight to drop it off? Whatever. I don't get it. I grew up watching movies, and your word was your bond. That's what they always said. You know, you can almost hear John Wayne saying it. I don't know if he ever did, but you can almost hear him say it. Clint Eastwood and all those guys. Your word is your bond, or something to that effect. But your word is not your bond in this society. I mean, as a matter of fact, one of the worst things is your bond is your word. Because nobody can tell the truth. Nobody can keep a promise. I don't see it anymore. And the problem is I've been accused of being honest to a fault. Where I will just straight up say, yeah, that's, and then things that can hurt me. I give it as I see it. And that, you're not supposed to do that. And people, I'll say things on these videos sometimes, and people will tell me, well, here's what you should do. What was it? The one thing? Oh, I remember what it was. I made a video about how the ATF wasn't going to allow you to sell guns anymore for a profit. So if you have a gun, I was talking about this little 22 my dad gave me. So if I'd have sold it for $1, I would have been in trouble because that would have been a profit. And people were just coming out of the woodwork saying, well, no, don't sell the gun. You give the gun away. You sell the scope for $500. It just amazes me how many people can come up with a lie like that. I can't. I can't, and I won't. To me, that is a lie. And secondly, if you get caught doing that, you'll probably be more in trouble than just having sold the gun. Let's look at it this way. If ATF came out and did an investigation on this gun that I gave away, and I sold the scope for $500, and they go and talk to the purchaser, and they're going to say, look, we're going to throw you in jail for the rest of your life for lying and conspiracy and impeding an investigation, whatever. You tell us what transpired. The guy's going to say, well, I wanted to buy that gun, but he said he couldn't sell it to me because the ATF wouldn't allow me, so I bought the scope and he gave me the gun for free. So the ATF now has a witness that just said I lied to the ATF. Well, I made a video like that where I said basically that same thing. Well, you need to write a contract with the purchaser saying they won't say such a thing. Make a receipt. You need evidence that he bought the scope. So you want me to fabricate evidence saying I sold a scope for, $10 scope, $500. It is incredible that people just can so easily lie about things. So I don't have much faith. If the guy brings me the log splitter, great. If he doesn't, then I'm just going to chalk it up to our word is no longer our bond. I mean, this gentleman seemed like an older gentleman. He might still have that sense of obligation that he said he was going to do something, he'll do it. But he didn't give me a specific date. He said this week. So, this week's pretty long. It's 5 days. 7 days include the weekend. So we'll see. But it's going to be a pretty easy fix. I would like to do it. It'd be good for the new channel. Something that simple that a lot of people have problems with that we can put out there. But like I said, I got a video coming up on that on a generator that had the same problem. That generator would just rip that cord out of your hand. It was terrible. I mean, it would come over, slap my other hand, and I got scared of it. I was just scared to pull it. So I adjusted the valves and instantly fixed it. I've not had a problem with it since. It was an amazing fix. But then I should have mentioned, I don't know if I mentioned this yet, he said also do a tune-up because it's not running very good either, which gives me another indication of what the problem could be. If it was a camshaft issue, broken compression relief, it would run fine. There would not be any issues with running. But if it was a valve issue, it would start popping and making, maybe not running very good. And if it was a broken flywheel key, again, which I'm not sure is very likely, that could throw off your timing. So you could get popping issues and not running very consistently and causing problems. On the other hand, it could just be a bad carburetor. So that'd be pretty good if there was two problems with that, because that would bring in a little bit extra money. So I've been watching other videos about lawnmower repair business, or channels I should say, lawnmower repair channels. I want to make sure that this new channel that I'm developing, which, like I said earlier, if you'll at the end of this video click the up next to the box, it'll take you to that other channel. And what I've been doing with this new channel, you know, I've been on YouTube for 8 years, and I've watched every video, every successful video that I've watched, you can watch in the last 8 years, that even come close to what I would consider watchable material. You know, lawnmower repair business, off-grid channels, prepping channels. I've watched them, just tons of them in the last 8 years, trying to get a sense of how to make this channel more successful. And I feel like I've got a pretty good grasp on what makes a channel successful. And I also understand what it is I've done that has made, or that I feel like this channel isn't successful. But I've done something a little different with this new channel. I'm watching channels, small channels, that should be succeeding and they're not. Watched this one channel just the other day. I don't know, they probably got 1,400 subscribers or something. And they've been doing it for years and years. Let's just say 10 years, I don't know, 5 years, 8 years, whatever it is. And you think, boy, they should be bigger than they are. So I watch their video, I send it over to Carolyn so she can watch it. I send it off to my dad so he can watch it, and they give me input on what they think about it. And then I try to figure out why they're not doing well. If that video was a good video, for example, why aren't they doing well? And what I've noticed is a lot of them are getting off topic in their videos. You know, they'll be repairing generators for a while, or lawnmowers, or, you know, whatever, and then they'll repair a car, or they'll repair a wash machine. And that really, I know for a fact, throws off the algorithm. The algorithm just doesn't know who to send it off to now. Your normal audience was used to you making videos about lawnmower repair, and now all of a sudden you're doing a wash machine, and they're like, I don't want to watch a video about wash machine. I have no interest in repairing a wash machine. Or they'll make a video about how to grow a lawnmower repair business, when I would think that a lot of people really don't care about developing a lawnmower repair business. They want to know how to repair their lawnmower. So you can kind of see that the algorithm is just struggling to figure out where to put them as a channel in the whole, you know. And then another channel I watched, and every video was an hour long. And there's no editing in this video. First of all, he starts out his video with, wow, this is a nice day. Now that's a vlog channel. I do that a lot. It's a nice day. Look at this. Clouds, pretty. Everything's great. Solar panel's going to work great. That's a vlog channel. But when you're wanting to learn how to repair a lawnmower, and your title says, replace the camshaft, and you spend 20 or 30 seconds, and you really need to time this, because YouTube actually monitors the first 30 seconds and tells you if you're where you should be. You should be around about 60% of your audience stuck around. So if you're talking about the weather, you're going to lose people real fast. So that first 30 seconds, you probably have, you know, 30% retention rate. You don't want to lose people that early. The algorithm is going to like, okay, this video is no good. It's not even going to take the algorithm that long to figure out. You know, he talked about the weather for 20 minutes, and then he talked about his customer sister-in-law, and well, finally he started looking at the lawnmower. So if you can get past the first 30 seconds of nightmare weather forecast, you spend another hour just watching him going back and forth to his bench to get tools. He spent very little time actually repairing the lawnmower, just back and forth, back and forth. Now, see, the thing is I know all this because I've been on YouTube for so long. I understand what mistakes they're making. But what I think is helping me, at least I hope, I should say, will help me, is I can look at what they're doing and then completely remove that from my video. I mean, I made a video the other day and I went on a little bit too long about the problems of the machine I was working on. And I just edited all that out. I just took it out. I looked at the first minute, and it really needed to apply to what the problem was, and not so much the backstory. And I got into the backstory that every time I did this, the machine would do that and this and that, and we didn't need that much information. We just needed to know, hey, this mower is doing this, let's fix it, and get into it right away. You don't want to lose them too fast. I really feel like that this is a good approach to this new channel. So if you'll click this up next box, it'll take you over to that other channel where I'm working on, well, I'll let it be a surprise. So hope I can inspire you to be honest, so you can live your dreams. Thanks for watching.